Yes! Yes! He dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Well, good morning, guys. It is Saturday, November 9th, and Mako the Dogo and I are up here in Mule country. We're at about 9,000 feet. We left camp at 4 o'clock this morning. Camp is at 6,400 feet, I think, somewhere around in there. So I didn't do much filming yesterday afternoon or last night. It was a brutal hike up here. Today is the second time I'm up here, but yesterday was the first time I'd ever hiked up into this particular spot, and it was tough. It is a steep mother getting up in here, and saw a lot of mule deer does last night. Didn't see any bucks. There's a really big avalanche chute and a big basin over this ridge here behind me that we spent most of the evening glassing into. Glassed into this basin on this side of the chute last night and this morning as well. Hiked up in here, got there at daylight this morning, and same thing, saw quite a few does. Not as many as we saw yesterday, but only because yesterday we hiked up in the daylight in the afternoon, evening hours, and so there was more deer out. And this morning we hiked up in the dark and got up here at first light. So it was a grueling hike, exhausted to say the least, but I've seen a bunch of elk this morning. I can't even tell you how many I've seen, probably 20 or 30 head maybe. No bulls yet, but where the elk were at, I was glassing late this morning. They're exactly where I knew they would be, because that's where they're always at. But we're up here looking primarily for mule deer, hoping to find a big high country mule deer up in these avalanche chutes. There are some deer tracks up in here. Saw some does crossing one of the avalanche chutes last night, so they're in here. I think it's just going to take patience. There seems like there's a fair amount of deer in here, but I'm not seeing as much sign up here as I'm seeing down low. Surprisingly, at about 7,200 feet, maybe 7,500 feet, there's a lot of deer sign, like a lot. I bet I walked through 20 beds this morning. They were beds that I came down through last night. I took the same route, but the deer aren't as high as I thought they would be, and we don't really have that much snow. There's only about 6 to 8 inches up here. So anyway, we're going to keep hunting, spend the day up here glassing these chutes, and hopefully I may decide to go over and hike across through these avalanche chutes today. I don't know what we're going to do. Just catching some sun right now. I'm trying to warm up and dry out a little bit, so stay tuned. Isn't this pretty amazing? Pretty incredible. Unreal. I just had 2 mountain goats, a nanny and a billy. We were 50 yards from them, sneaking up the hill, hoping to find a big mule deer, but instead we found a pretty big billy. You guys will see from the video he had a broken foot. His left front foot was broken, but man, check this out. Isn't this just incredible? Unreal. This view is just insane. That's a long ways down.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? 2024 Montana mule deer hunt, and I am headed to eastern Montana. Where exactly am I going? Nobody knows. Not even myself. Guys, this is, I think it's been at least 3, maybe 4 years. I think 2018. Somewhere around in there was maybe the last time. 19 was the last time I was out in eastern Montana hunting mule deer. Deer numbers and the population have just plummeted. The number of hunters, out-of-state hunters, in-state hunters, I don't know the exact numbers. I think Montana gave out like something like 61,000 mule deer tags last year or something like that. And honestly, just the last couple of trips that I took out east, the hunting just was really frustrating. Not really seeing a lot of deer numbers, not seeing any mature bucks at all, with the exception of the one that I took, I think that was 4 or 5 years ago. Obviously my son and I took a really nice buck here a couple years ago, but that was more north central Montana, and not what I consider to be out east where I normally have hunted in the past. And so I've got the bug. I've been really itching to get back out east, and I'm just really hoping that it won't be as depressing and frustrating as it has been in the past. I'm sure I'm going to run in a lot of hunters. It is the week of Thanksgiving. Sometimes I try to get out a little bit earlier than this week, but just timing with work and kids and all that, it just worked out that this year I get Thanksgiving week to go out. So it is Friday, and I've got until next Thursday night-ish, Friday, to hunt. So I'm gonna go explore some new country, places that I've never been, and hoping to explore and maybe just find some deer. There's a couple of big block management units that I want to check out that I've never been into. For those of you that don't know, block management is Montana's system for allowing public land hunters to hunt private land that is enrolled in what we call BMAs. The landowners sign up for the program through FWP, Fish, Wildlife, and Parks, and they basically get paid by the state to allow public land hunters to come out to their property. And BMAs can be a good opportunity to hunt private land, although I have found in my experience that historically the BMAs just get pounded just as bad as the public land, mostly because there's just way too many hunters in Montana. And if anybody from FWP is watching, please, for the love of all that's holy, start limiting the number of tags that you sell, because our deer are just dwindling. So anyway, that's my 10-second plug. Guys, stay tuned. Hopefully we're gonna find some deer, and you never know. You can't kill one if you're not out there looking. So we're gonna give it our best college effort and see if we can't find a buck worth punching a tag on. And if anything, it's adventure. The snowstorm that I drove through earlier this morning was absolutely insane to get out here. My headlights went out about 30 minutes into the drive. Thank God I have a fog light bar and a off-road light bar. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to drive because I had no headlights. That was awesome. I'm running LEDs, and I had to stop, and they were completely like froze over on the inside. The blizzard was nuts. It took me 4.5 hours to go 120 miles of constant snowstorm. So glad that's over with, and it's a lot nicer out now. And hopefully I'm just minutes away from the block management, and hopefully we're gonna be able to get signed in and go explore some new country. So stay tuned. Let's go hunting. This is High Country Dan. Let's find some bucks. Alright, good morning guys. It is day 2 of my eastern Montana mule deer hunt, and pretty excited. Last night had a great night. Didn't capture a lot of footage just because it was kind of a rush. Didn't know if I was actually even going to get to hunt yesterday afternoon. Drove into a completely new area, and everything's private, so there's not really any public land you can hunt. There's a couple of big BMAs that I wanted to check out. That's block management units here in Montana. And I was fortunate enough to meet up with the block management manager, I guess you could call him, who gets people signed into different units. And fortunately, he was able to get me signed into one of the units last night, and then the other unit for today, and actually tomorrow as well. So last night we got into one of the big units, kind of drove back into an area where there's this big drainage that I wanted to check out, and hiked probably, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile, half mile from the truck, and did some glassing back down into this drainage and saw a really nice buck. I don't want to say a really nice buck. He looked like a pretty decent buck from what I could see, but he was 3+ miles away, and was clearly cruising for does, but he was kind of cruising from left to right. And so on a last minute decision, I decided to cut the distance, see if I could get a better look at him. And who knows, if he was a shooter, maybe get an opportunity at him. Long story short, cut the distance. Thought he might have dropped back. He kind of went over this rise and went into another drainage, and I thought maybe he was going to work his way down that drainage, checking for does, and sure enough, worked out perfect. I came over the top, and we pretty much intercepted each other at the exact same time. He was 150 yards away. I elected to pass. He was a nice buck, but just not the quality of buck that I was looking for. He was a 3x4, pretty narrow inside of his ears, fairly tall, but not super heavy, and no eye guards. So I call that a government issue buck, just a standard, nothing like ooh-ah kind of a thing. So today we're getting ready to hike into this block management unit. It's just about to get daylight. As you can see behind me, it's pretty colors out there this morning. The sunrise is probably gonna be pretty beautiful. But this is a totally new block management spot that I've never been. So I'm gonna go check it out. Stay tuned. Hopefully we'll find a buck worth shooting this morning.
Like I'm taking A few moments later. A few minutes later. A few inches later. 12 seconds later. 3 days later.
Guys, there's a really nice buck over here. I gotta see if I can get on it. He's right there. Yards. Oh, yes, yes. He dropped like a sack of potatoes. Oh, I got him. Oh, he's kicking. He's kicking. Yeah. Make sure he's down. Oh, oh, yeah, baby. Montana buck now. Oh, man. I got him. Oh, oh. Guys, I can't believe that happened. Dang it. It happened so fast. I didn't have time to set up the camera on the buck. But I got him. He is down. Oh my God. I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe we just got that buck. Oh. I literally just pulled over to the side of the road, saw some does, buck comes running out of the bottom. He was literally cresting the skyline, and I had to make a split-second decision. That looks like a really nice buck. Yes! 7 LRM does the trick. That is freaking awesome. He's down. And we got ourselves a buck, guys. Yes! Hard work pays off. Holy bleep! I just tagged out in Montana. This is crazy. It's like 1:55. And I was driving to go check out a spot. Drove through a little BLM section of public land, and I spotted 4 does just kind of feeding on the hillside, and I thought, well, there might be a buck, so I just pulled over and stopped, and sure enough, this really nice buck came out. He was about to crest over the ridge, and I didn't have a whole ton of time, but I thought I better take a look at him, and he's wide. He looks like a big 4x3, but one shot down. Like, it was so fast. I'm literally, my truck is like, I don't know, 80 yards behind me on the county road. So not a crazy hunt by any means, but I just tagged out. That's freaking crazy. Like, nuts crazy. So let's go check out my deer. Hey guys, this is nuts. So I just shot my 2024 mule deer, and driving on the county road, I was gonna go check out some BLM land about, oh man, probably 10-15 miles from here, and drove through this little BLM section, spotted some does down in the bottom of this drainage, and pulled over to the side of the road just to glass, just in case. The deer are really starting to move within the last half hour. Been watching quite a few deer come up out of little pockets and whatnot. And a truck full of hunters literally was right in front of me, just blew through here. They didn't even stop, didn't even look at these deer. And I stopped and glassed them, and the does were kind of looking back at this, here, let me get the sun in my face so you can see me. the does were kind of looking back up the drainage. And I thought, man, you never know. It's that time of year. There could be a buck with him. And sure enough, this really nice buck came out of the bottom. He's not giant, but he's pretty wide. Big 4 on one side and a 3 on the other. I couldn't tell. He might be broken off, but man, what a cool deer. And he literally checked the does and he was moving across the country. Like he was running across the ridge. So I literally bailed out, threw my orange on, ran across the road, sprinted over to this juniper bush, and 274 yards, 1 shot, 1 kill. But it was like really rushed. So I'm really bummed I didn't get the kill shot on video, but we're gonna go up there and recover my buck. Grabbed my pack because we're gonna need to pack him out. He's done, so I watched him hit the dirt, and he did some kicking, so sweet. Let's go check out my buck. Literally bedded right down in that little coulee. He must have been, and he crossed over, and there was some does right up here in these junipers. And then he checked the does and was headed right up over the top of the ridge, and he's laying dead right up there. Another truck of hunters just drove by, and they have no idea that there's a big buck laying up here on the hill, dead. Freaking awesome, guys. Unreal. And this is why I keep my tripod on my gun like all the time. Because it's easy to take off and use it to glass, but if you need to get out and shoot or shoot quickly, man, it just helps to have it. Less time I gotta fiddle with anything. And I leave it at kneeling height most of the time. A lot of times I'll just stuff it in my backpack, right in the pocket on the side there. And that way, if I need it, I can pull it out and throw it on the gun real quick. Yeah! Oh man, I'll take him. I'm stoked. Dang, that is cool. What a cool buck. What a... Well, guys, that was awesome. I did not get a chance to get some footage of the buck after the kill with a kind of a little wrap-up video. Fortunately, and a little bit unfortunately, this really nice family from California saw me over on the hillside. They stopped, they brought their game card over. They helped me get some really great photos, but just in the moment I didn't have time to do like a sit-down video with the buck. So this is kind of the wrap-up of that video and of this hunt for the most part. Man, what an awesome experience. I really wished I could have got that kill shot on footage for you guys, but as you saw, it happened really fast. I mean, within like 2 minutes tops, maybe even less than a minute from the time that I spotted him, jumped out of the truck, grabbed my gun, ran over here. I really hope the camera was recording. I haven't even looked yet to see if I actually got any footage at all. Got some running over here and hopefully got set up and got the camera on in time for you guys to at least see the shot, but unfortunately, like I said, I didn't have time to grab my other camera equipment and to get on the deer, unfortunately. But thanks for watching. If you haven't done so, please hit that like and a subscribe button. I know it's cliche, but it does help out the channel. I'm not making any money. I just want to share my content with you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this short mule deer video. That's a wrap for the 2024 Montana mule deer hunt. Thanks for watching.